Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hey, it's summertime. The world is burning because cows are farting everywhere, and global warming is killing all of us. So let's watch a movie set in the desert. Because tonight we are reviewing Horror in the High Desert Part 3, Firecrotch. I prefer Firecrotch over Firewatch. The third in the Horror in the High Desert series, which I believe is slated for 6 installments, I think I'm right.
Really?
Part 4 is definitely coming.
So, go ahead. I thought you were saying something. Anyway,
Part 4 is definitely coming.
Oh, that's for sure. So, before we get into all the madness of Final Guys, I want to introduce Sick as a Dog, Jason Shrubbery in the High Desert.
Yes, my brain is not working well. I'm like screwing a lot of stuff up today. So if I say something completely dumbass, tell me.
Don't cancel him.
It's
usual. Not his fault.
Yeah. So it'll be a regular stream. And yes, I broke my glasses, so I'm wearing contacts. That's why I look extra doofy today.
How did you break your glasses? Is it?
I took them off my face and they just like disintegrated. They were really old.
He's Mr. Magoo now.
Roadhog. Speaking of Mr. Magoo, Jack the High Dessert. Can't be easy. I might miss that extra.
Oh
S.
shit! People just said we're doing this on. Oh my! This is what I'm talking about. We're not live on Final Guys. We're live on my channel. Oh my god!
Did we start all over again?
Hell with it. We'll probably get a lot more viewers this way.
This is where the show takes off. The accident.
Happy accident.
You can always post it over there later, right?
Yeah, I'll upload it. So, hello everyone. This is my podcast on a different channel that I'm dumb and I'm streaming to my So Bad It's Good channel.
Well,
cool.
You did say you'd make mistakes.
Dude, it's been a long
Jack?
day.
It could be a good mistake. A blessing, maybe.
First mistake. The bell is wrong. Also joining me, as always, is Chad Low Desert Punk.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us, folks. Even the SBIG people.
Yeah. Welcome.
Oh, God.
We're so bad, it's good.
We're so bad. We're bad. And I'm Hunter on my last Minerva Shea. Coming back after a week off, and I want to show you guys two things. While we were up in Maine, we went to an old, small town fair that happens every year. It was very cute. My daughter won me this minion that looks like it suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome.
It needs a V8. Yeah, it needs a V8.
He looks terrible. I mean, but I love him. And then we were in New Hampshire, and we found an ice cream shop, a horror-themed ice cream shop. And I found the greatest book of all time, 40th anniversary of Choose Your Own Adventure, The Abominable Snowman.
Oh,
beautiful.
That's great.
Almost passed out when I saw it. I was so excited. So I'm thinking, why am I still the only one on here?
Oh, because I'm dumb and I'm sick and I'm not thinking right.
Jack, ring the bell.
Oh, Christ. This is going to be a long stream.
This might be part of the drinking game.
How many mistakes do I make?
Yeah.
You do a shot of Robitussin or NyQuil.
Oh, gosh.
So anyway, I'm thinking on my Patreon page of doing a drunken Choose Your Adventure, reading this, and drunkenly we all choose the adventure and walk through it. It's an idea.
You get one for mentioning Patreon.
Oh, God. Damn it. Okay. Sorry. Does anyone else?
It's not a foul. It's just funny.
Oh, I thought I don't want to cross-pollinate. Although we are cross-pollinating without even knowing it.
We're just pollen all over us.
There's pollen everywhere.
We're like a Jackson Pollen painting.
Shooting ropes of pollen. Does anyone have anything special they want to announce other than my retarded minion and Yeti book?
No. I just Let's go.
No,
Before I
let's
screw
go.
something else up.
What are the drinking words, Chad?
The drinking words tonight are if you hear any of these words coming out of Jack's mouth, third, motorcycle, series, you must take a drink. Milk, bourbon, a beer, what have you. If
Did
you
you hit
hear
us with
Hunter,
the milk?
the milk, yeah. I didn't
Oh.
say milk. Milk.
Oh, I heard a little A in there. That's all right.
Hunter,
Favorite
if,
drink
if,
of
if you hear him say desert, tree, or mine, if Jason says paid, footage, or sound, take a drink. If I say Minerva, prime, or movie, take a drink. And the bonus words for tonight are Oscar, found, and Dutch.
Nice.
All
As
right,
a
there
Dutch
you go,
oven.
kids. Oh, my wife knows all about that. So, it's news time, Jack. Let's hear it.
Bring it, baby.
It's the news. Yay.
All right, we're going to come in, hit the snooze, get out quick for Jason. Hunter, I think you're going to like this one. Coming to HBO sometime in the future. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires comedy series written by Grady
Series?
Hendrix, Danny McBride, and Edie Patterson.
Wow.
Comedy. I didn't
I
expect
mean, I
that.
could see you could pull a comedy.
Well,
out of
great,
that
Grady
one.
Hendrix. I mean, you read the book though, Jason. I haven't, so maybe
Book is great.
The book is so good. I don't know that.
I don't doubt
Chad,
that.
I'll send you the book if you want to read it.
This is the which one is this? The I have it. It's the
The
one
Southern
of the beaches.
Book, the Southern
Yeah.
Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. It's almost
Yeah.
as long as Horror in the High Desert, Minerva, and
Great.
Firecraft.
Minerva, yeah.
I'm excited
LLC.
about that in a way.
I think this could work as a comedy because it'll be a comedy. You know, it'll be like Buffy, a little scary, a little funny,
Little Desperate Housewives.
little. Oh yeah, it's gonna be like True Blood.
I'm
Yeah, it's not that I'm-
excited about Danny McBride though. That's the one thing that has me kind of.
I love Danny McBride. I think that dude is hysterical.
I do.
So you
but I
like
saw his
so
horror
you
movies.
liked Halloween, the
No.
newer Halloween movies, Jason?
That's that is concerning.
All right.
See, here we go.
But Mother Nature just
I trust-
pantsuit.
I trust Grady Hendrix.
Maybe we need to get Bobcat back doing some of this stuff. He did that awesome Bigfoot movie.
He did.
Hunter,
well,
what would Bobcat say to that?
I don't know, man. I just want to do vampires.
That's
Such
a pretty good
He does a
Bobcat.
good Bobcat.
Damn. That was cold too. Wow.
Yeah, not
It's improv, baby. It's my boy.
You're the man.
Now, only a couple of us have seen this next movie, but In a Violent Nature 2 has announced there is going to be a sequel. Now, I recommend that people should see this movie, even though I wasn't crazy about the ending. I think it's definitely worth watching. I don't know if I think this movie needs a sequel. As in, I don't think this movie needs a sequel.
I mean, well, you know what? I won't even say what I was going to say. It might be construed as a spoiler.
Yeah.
They need a
I
prequel.
haven't seen it.
I mean, it could use like a sequel, like a 10-minute sequel.
Yeah.
God.
I haven't
Use
seen
an
it yet.
after
so.
credits scene. That would have done enough.
I don't know.
But
I got to watch the movie still.
yeah, you really should watch it. It's got one. It has like the best kill of the year in it. So,
It was shot really well. I mean, the first half, I was really, really into that movie.
we should do it as a main feature
We
at
should
some point.
soon, probably.
Yeah, we were talking about that until we realized that Firecrotch was on Prime.
Yeah, so maybe next week.
Yeah.
My crotch.
Best news I've saved for last. The trailer for Hellhole has hit. Not the Hunter Shea Hellhole,
I was gonna say my book.
What?
the Addams Family next movie.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Hmm.
No.
Cool.
Addams Family adapted your book into a movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna sue them. They're going full
It is
on.
dis-
Oh,
Right.
the Adams family, the people
Addams
that we
Family.
love. Not the
Oh, I thought.
not
Oh,
the Adams
I
family.
thought
Okay.
Gomez.
Oh,
Yes. Now
I
I'm
was
down.
like, dude, this news sucks. Okay, never
Well,
mind.
this is where the
good
devil
news.
roams Hellbender, Adam's family.
Gotcha. Okay.
So are they going to
You know,
write
I-
their own music, or are they going to use Spinal Tap music for this?
Big Bottom is definitely in this movie.
And
I
Hellhole.
do
of
think
course.
I sent them that book. Because I sent them
Dude,
a
I'm
bunch
telling
of
you,
books.
we got a lawsuit.
We're going up
Here's
to the
the-
Catskills.
Here's the best news. Hits Shutter on August 23rd.
Oh, whoa.
Get it?
Not too far
Main
away.
feature.
Yeah, done.
Oh, for sure.
Wow, that's like 3 weeks away. Beautiful.
For sure.
well,
They set
the
I
bar
got to
high,
call my
man.
lawyer first. We'll see how this goes.
They're calling it
I'm not all in yet.
a parasitic creature feature.
Oh,
Mm.
interesting.
Okay.
And I saw the trailer, and it definitely looks like it's got a bit of a Tremors thing going, a little bit of the thing going. Like it doesn't look like their other stuff.
Huh.
They're
It's got to be
taking the
smart, though. I'm sure it's smart. They make smart movies.
Looking forward to it. So
Yeah. Hell yeah.
that is all the news that's fit to print.
There's a not to step on your toes, Jack, but there's
Please.
one more news thing worthy. Since you brought up the Grady Hendrix book, our writing peer Philip Fracassi announced that he has not only does he have a adaptation coming out of one of his books, but it's being done by A24, starring Special Agent Dale Cooper. Kyle MacLachlan is going to be in it. So, wow.
Do you know the name of
A24.
it?
Cool.
I can't remember which book it or short story maybe it's from. I can't remember. But
Hellhole.
great writer.
Hellhole.
I
Hellhole
hear it's his
creature. Yeah, Hellhole Swamp Creature.
Could you imagine if Hellhole is their creature?
Maybe it is.
That would be amazing. I hope it is.
They just get a ring
Awesome.
for bonus.
Yeah. All right. So we can get Jason one step closer to taking a shot of NyQuil when this is over. Let's get on to the crap we watch.
We have such sights to show you.
I want a poster of just a screenshot of Jason's face tonight. I just want to plaster my walls with him.
Do I look that
looking
happy?
Bewildered and pale. This is awesome.
I can't believe I'm streaming this on the wrong channel. Oh my god.
It's amazing.
Jason's got. I mean, Chad's got the. What's the movie with the lot lizards?
Oh, Candyland.
Oh yeah,
Candyland.
Candyland.
You've got the Candyland hat on. That's the
No.
weapon from Candyland.
No.
Yeah, don't mess with that crucifix. You know what? Let's start with Mr. Candyland.
Okay, let's start with
That
it.
was on Tubi, and you are the king of Tubi.
Yes, I am, and it just so happens that I visited Tubi this week to watch a movie from 1977 called Empire of the Ants.
love that
animals.
movie.
When animals attack seems to be like a favorite subgenre here at Final Guys. Oh, he loves that movie, so he's gonna.
That's
leave.
his baby.
Especially with you guys and your shark movies that I'm not such a huge fan of, but man, I love these 70s when animals attack. That's like the prime, era for that. I think. And Tubi is where you can find just about all of them. So yeah, this week I watched Empire of the Ants from '77. Very slightly based on H.G. Wells, if at all. I think they just kind of stole the name and put it on there. But I swore I'd seen this before, and there's a chance that maybe I could have back in the 70s when I was like 7 or 8. But as I was watching it, I thought I'd remembered the ants being regular size, just like trillions of them. So it must have been another movie I saw. So with Empire of the Ants, opens with a boatload of toxic chemicals being thrown into the ocean. Then one of the barrels gets washed up onto shore, starts leaking what looks like silver paint or almost like mercury. The local ants on the island are attracted to it and start lapping it up. Enter Empire of the Ants. In the meantime, Joan Collins looking pretty good.
Smoke show.
She plays a land developer that is offering a tour of the island to potential future clients. Some of which are there just for a boat ride or in a picnic, or some seem to think it's some kind of place to meet cute. And one guy thinks it's a great way to sexually assault somebody else right in front of his wife. So I don't know.
I know.
The characters are hilarious. But when the ants show up to wreak havoc, they're man-sized giant ants. The close-up shots are with practical effects that are pretty cool. Shaky cam and all that. Everything else is shot behind like a foggy glass, like in an aquarium, and then superimposed in front of screaming actors and actresses.
Mm-hmm.
Not horrible, but sometimes kind of funny because it seems like they just shot a couple scenes and then used the same one over and over again, the same ones over and over again. But I've seen Ticks a couple times. Great movie with what's his name, Clint Howard. The way some of these people interact with each other is hilarious. Complete lack of self-awareness. But if that hazy 70s killer animals movies is your thing, this is right up there with some of the best on Tubi.
Dude, I saw that when it came out as a kid. I watched it every couple of years. It's the notorious Burt I. Gordon. And I love those ants, and I love the twist it takes at the end. Because it's something else is going on that you could never see coming in a million years.
Yeah.
Shockingly, I've never seen this. Never seen it.
It's worth seeing, man.
All right.
My disappointment grows. Good choice, Chad. For once, I'm proud of you.
No, for once, okay.
Do you have to pay royalties to Hunter to watch that movie?
Yeah. All right, Sick Boy.
I watched A Quiet Place. What the hell's it called?
Oh, Day One.
Day One. Thank you.
Uh,
I just watched it today.
I'd like to hear what you thought of this.
I finally got to see this. I didn't think I'd get to for a while, but it's a prequel. So, I'm going into this thinking, but I actually really like this movie. It is it my favorite prequel ever? I don't know. It might be. Primarily because it's based around characters you don't know from the other movies. So, are they going to live? Are they going to die? It doesn't have the standard prequel bullshit that bothers me. But I got to tell you, the cast, incredible. If you didn't like A Quiet Place because there's only like one or two creatures in it and it's slower, this is not that. There are hundreds to thousands of the creatures in this absolutely destroying New York City. I will say this. There were multiple times where I was like, my novel Devoured is very similar to what's happening in this movie. I'm not saying they ripped it off, but there is a lot of scenes in this that I was like, I wrote that like 10 years ago. So
you can have my lawyer. We're suing everybody right now.
You're going after the Addams Family. I'm going after whatever giant-ass company made this. Solid movie. Honestly, my only real complaints are there are two of the cheapest freaking jump scares you'll ever see in this movie. But that's nitpicking. It's, when I say great casting, also great characters, they did a really good job making you care about these people who can barely speak throughout the film. So they do a good job like fleshing them out just with the different ways they interact throughout the movie. Very, very solid stuff. I like this a lot more than I anticipated. When this hits streaming, this would be a good main feature.
The character, I did not expect to like the characters as much as I did.
Yeah, they were really, really good.
Because you kind of know what you're getting with the monsters, so you're just hoping for some creative stuff, which they do. But that story just like sucks you in.
Yeah. I say there are a lot of monsters in this, and there are, and there's a lot of destruction. But there isn't a lot of that hand-to-hand, how are we trying to kill them that you get from the other movies. Yeah. This is just they're wrecking everything. And you're just trying to get the hell out of the way. So, solid film. Very solid film.
Should have been a main feature. Okay. Kind of wanted it to be. Whatever. I still haven't seen that one either. Jackie.
Does anybody notice that I look a little more crystal clear tonight?
You do.
Yeah, you don't have the nicotine cam going.
I got a new laptop.
Oh.
Oh, Piss
the Mac
Jack
is
is
dead?
gone?
Yeah, the screen broke.
Oh my god.
That's right. You're telling us about that.
And it was like 7-something years old. And
I mean, it was time.
so,
Good for you.
all right, let me start with the newer movie I watched. Just hit Netflix, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet.
I never will.
So the last Ghostbusters movie, what was that, Afterlife?
Mhm.
I thought it was okay. It did kind of the nostalgia run that a lot of these soft reboot things do, where they kind of retread a lot of nostalgia.
I liked it a lot. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. This one picks up in New York City, and now the Paul Rudd family are like the Ghostbusters. And then a like orb is found somewhere, and it's got some kind of ghosty demony thing in it that wants to bring about like a icy destruction to the whole world kind of thing. There are a million characters in this freaking movie. You've got the original Ghostbusters plus Annie Potts has a bigger role. It's got like every single character from the first movie, and like just when you thought like everybody was there, they go somewhere else and there's more of them.
Okay.
And so by the end of it, I'm like, holy crap. Like, so
Is Dickless in it?
Dickless is in it.
Oh my god. Okay, I gotta watch it now.
There's a character named Dickless?
It's the guy who like was trying to shut down the Ghostbusters in the first one.
Bill Murray calls him Dickless. at one
Oh.
point.
Okay.
That's no. So I was not a big fan of this movie. This one takes itself a little too seriously at points. It's not very funny. There's more like amusing parts of them. Okay, mostly Paul Rudd. It's really a kids movie. Like when you watch the original Ghostbusters, that's a flat out comedy for mainstream people from teenagers to adults that kids can also like because of the ghosty stuff. This is like a kids movie that parents could watch with a little bit of nostalgia. Although when kids are watching this, they must be like, why do they keep talking to these old guys?
Yeah. Stranger danger. Get away.
Yeah, Bill Murray shows up like for 2 seconds, like a couple of times. So I didn't find it very funny. I found it very convoluted. And I was like, okay. One of the problems is the original cast, you know, everybody was a really funny, talented person. Now it's like this family. Paul Rudd's the only person I could tell you their name of. And even like the all-female one that came out that wasn't very good. I like that better than this one because you
Shots
had
fired.
like, yeah, they'd had 4 very funny women in lead. And there were some funny parts to that movie. It's almost like they could have taken the best parts of what they've done with these two and done it with that one, and they blew it.
You just lost your misogynist card who objectifies women. Now, I don't know who you are anymore. This
So
has me itching to watch more Ghostbusters.
this one was a no for me, dog.
You're not the only person who's told me this one was a massive step down from the last one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So
a
sad.
total like Netflix. You're looking for something to watch. Oh, I'll check out the new Ghostbusters, and then you're gonna afterwards be like, I hope they get that. I hope they stop doing this.
Wow.
They won't.
Wow.
As long as they made 5 cents, they'll make another.
You know who's in this movie though? The girl in Doctor Sleep who was like Snakebite Annie or something like that.
No.
No.
She was the girl that was like, she could control minds. She was like a younger blonde girl.
I don't remember.
Mm-mm.
No, she was also in the Queen Bee babysitter movie. She was like the girlfriend.
Oh, well, that's definitely something I would have watched.
You saw that? We did a main feature of it.
Queen
Yeah.
Bee?
Whatever. What's that babysitter? Wasn't there? What's it called?
Babysitter.
The Babysitter
Wasn't
2.
Oh,
Whatever that was.
Oh,
Isn't
I
the second
thought-
one called like Queen Bee or something like that?
I don't remember what it
I
was
have no
called.
clue.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. So while I was away, we watched the end of season 3 of The Bear, which for those of you who follow that, kind of artistic. I don't know what their choices were there. We all watched the whole season of She-Hulk. I actually watched a comic book thing. Enjoyed that.
dude, the Abomination in She-Hulk is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing like I thought that show would be. But when I got home, like, oh, I got to watch something for this stupid show that we do every week. So I said, let's watch something enjoyable after a 10.5-hour drive home. And we revisited The Gate from 1987.
Nice.
The one with the little kids?
Yeah, with
Oh my
God.
young Stephen Dorff.
Claymation.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. So Stephen
Wow, I
Dorff
feel
is the
old.
little kid, and he's got the weird neighbor friend, and the parents go away, and this tree had been taken down, and a geode came out of it, and they cracked it open, and this hole in the ground is actually like the gate to hell. The best part is when they crack the geode open. Remember those, not Etch-a-Sketch, but remember those pads you had the pen on, and you'd write, and you just pull the page up, and it would go.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
It's like wax paper. Yeah.
Yeah. So the
Underneath.
Evil Dead-ish words you need to say to conjure the demons is written on
Latin.
that pad. So yeah, they read it. And the best part of this movie are the little demons that are everywhere. They are ugly.
They're cool.
They're a mix of claymation puppets and people in suits.
Isn't there like a slither part where they like?
Well, there is. Well, there's a part where they crush one and he breaks up into looks like a million sperms.
Yeah,
that go
yeah, that's what I'm
crawling
talking
under
about.
the
They look
floor.
like the slither things.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen that movie in a billion years.
It's been a long
I
time.
freaking love this movie, and I hadn't watched it in so long. It's such fun. It's kind of like a kid's movie, but then there's stuff that goes on. I'm like, this is not a kid's movie. Especially like the main demon, when that thing comes in, I'm like, I would poop myself to death if I was a kid and had to come face to face with this. But it's them using like death metal albums to like find the reversal to opening the gates of
Nice.
hell.
I don't
It's all
remember
this
that.
cool 80s stuff, and it just goes bonkers. It's Evil Dead 2 for kids, including like, the monster picks him up by his hand. Yeah, Chad.
Chad hates it.
When the monster picks the kid up by his hand, all of a sudden he's got an eyeball in the center of his palm, and he's like stabbing the eyeball out and stuff. It's like crazy stuff. So
I gotta watch this. It's been a billion years since I've seen this movie.
if
been a
you've
long
never
time.
seen this movie, if you've never seen this movie or haven't seen it in a long time, go straight to, I think we watched it on Tubi.
Have you seen Stephen Dorff? Like, he's old,
Yeah, he's younger. He's way younger than us, Jack.
but he looks.
Well, that's smoking. That'll do it to you. Cigarettes just suck all the life out of you. But he looked like he was 10 in this movie, but I think it was like 13 when they shot it. It's a blast, man. It's on Tubi. It's free. Not a lot of commercials. And man, I just felt like we were back to being, teens in the 80s.
That's a good call. You guys
Yeah.
did good with the
We did. We wanted something that would
deep cut.
keep us awake.
you and
That we
Chad.
enjoyed.
Two good deep cuts.
Yeah. Well, let's see if Chad can trip over his own schwanz right now on the second pick.
Well, normally I would have at least one other thing to talk about because of Creepy Couch, but the wife and I are delayed in getting our next episode out. So we haven't even watched anything for the outrageously infamous popular Creepy
What
Couch
the
channel.
hell are my Patreon?
So no
dollars
2 for
going
1 deal.
Oh, the Patreon's going up, man. The Twin Peaks is over there on Patreon.
Ah.
But yeah, so that's I am tapped out, unfortunately.
Jack and I have been watching Twin Peaks. That Twin Peaks Titties Walk With Me. That's,
Oh, that's a good one.
that's
Fire
an awesome
crotch with
movie.
me.
Oh, starring the entire cast of every Russ
I
Meyer
saw
film.
Twin Peaks Firewalk with Me in the theater, but I hadn't watched the series. I'd only seen Morgan sat me
gosh.
down and
Oh,
just
that's
showed me
impossible.
like he just showed me certain episodes or
Were
scenes.
you
and
bored
kind of
or what?
explained stuff to me. So I knew like who Killer Bob was, and I knew a lot of the base
Spoiler
stuff.
alert.
The movie's old.
I didn't say who he was. I didn't
You
spoil
said the
anything.
killer.
I said whatever.
What? Who cares?
Hey, now you should just drop your Patreon because you know. Anyway, I walked into that movie like, what the freaking hell am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Speaking of what the hell am I doing with my life?
Oh, my
He
up.
looks like the definite no, Mr.
Oh,
Sicky. He looks like FML. That should be.
The
your
longer
name
this
tonight.
goes, the more I'm regretting this. I read a book from Ronald Malfi called Small Town Horror.
I am dying to read that book.
I am just on a complete Malfi kick right now, having not really read much of him before, and this book is freaking great. It's about a lawyer who gets called back to his old hometown by one of his friends from junior high, saying he needs help. And he hasn't talked to these people in 15 years, 20 years. And when he goes back, he just starts encountering crazy shit with his old friends saying they're being haunted and all this terrible stuff is happening to them because of something from their past. And I don't want to spoil anymore, but as you slowly find out what the hell is going on in this town, it is wild. And the way some of the characters are, I typically would not like this book because of the way... I'm trying to tiptoe around spoilers here. He's such a good writer, he still had me invested, even though it's typically not something I would like. And he really stuck the landing on this baby. Really, really dug this book. If you have not read Ronald Malfi yet, he is killing it right now in the genre. He's just a great, great horror author.
This is how you know the Stoker Awards are just a load of horse shit. That he doesn't win them. Rarely gets nominated, and he's literally the best writer of this generation.
He's
Hands down.
really good.
Like, he accomplishes stuff. I love Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix can't do what he does. So
I've never read him, but I do own, I think,
I
3 of
love
his
me some
books.
Grady.
I love
But yes.
Grady, but he's not Malfi.
If you have not read Malfi, this is a good book. Dig it.
You should buy one of it. I forget what book my blurb is on the cover. Now I can't even remember the book. Whatever. So you're done, Jason. Just take a shot of I don't know, Advil.
All I got's water. No.
Oh my God! You should have come down with meds.
Talk faster.
All right, Jack. After your Geritol, what do you got?
I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula from 1992.
Awesome.
Winona.
Of course, I've seen this movie before, but over the past year or two, I have watched all of the major adaptations of Dracula. There's like 5 or 6 of them, maybe 7. And this one I had saved because I'd seen it more recently, but it still has been a good 5-6 years since I've watched this movie, if not longer. So it was fun to sit down, not like find it halfway through and watch it or something like that.
Yeah.
I've always liked this movie but not loved it because it's kind of goofy and hokey.
Keanu Reeves.
So I definitely want to talk about Keanu
Single-handedly
Reeves.
destroys the movie.
Number one, I like this movie because I think a lot of mainstream people, this may be the only Dracula movie they actually have watched. Like, they've watched a lot of stuff with Dracula in it, but it actually, like, nobody's going to go back and watch the Bela Lugosi one unless they were a kid watching it with their parents or something like that. No, I'm talking like non-horror fans.
Yeah.
And the Christopher Lee stuff, again, if you grew up watching Creature Feature and stuff, you watch that. But my sister's not going to, hey, who do you like better, Bela Lugosi or Christopher Lee? What?
If my sister said that, I'd drop dead.
But then I was talking to my friend's daughter the other day, and I was like, have you ever seen the Dracula with Gary Oldman? And she's like, nope. And I was like, I wonder how many people have even not seen this. Because I just sort of assumed that. But this is 1992 now. My
This
God.
is old.
Yeah.
I still think of this as the new Dracula.
Me too. All right. When you said 92, I was like, are you kidding me?
And the place where I really noticed it was Richard E. Grant plays Jack Seward, the doctor for the asylum.
Mhm.
And he was just in the Loki series. and he's been in a lot of other stuff lately. And he's an older guy now, and I'm watching it, I'm going, wait, oh my God, that's Richard E. Grant. He's so young. Winona Ryder,
when it came out.
Winona Ryder has aged magnificently. Like you see her now, she looks older, but she's
kind of magic.
Yeah. This movie, it's the closest adaptation to the book for theatrical movies. The BBC 1977 is the closest you're going to come to the book. But this, if you ever, Jonathan Jantz just watched this as well, like the same day I did, and tweeted about it. And I told him to go back. He had never heard of the BBC one, and he's going to go check it out. I was like, dude, if you watch that, it's the blueprint for this. Like, Coppola had to have watched this.
By the way, did you tell Jans he's a fake horror fan?
I insinuated it.
All right, good for you. You got to keep him honest.
Listen, I don't like to, I'm a sensitive guy now.
With your new non-yellow filter.
Yeah. So this, I enjoyed it. I think I like it better. Like each time I see it. When I first watched it, I was really like, what the hell was that? But the thing about it is, the special effects are all in camera except for like one shot. They do a lot of weird things that just, as a film fan, you're like, oh, wow, this is so cool. It's just a love letter to old cinema. But as a regular person watching it, you're like, that was really weird and goofy and hokey. Like, yeah. So that's where I'm like, in 92, maybe we could use like a good, Dracula adaptation for
sure.
The next,
starring Selena Gomez as Count Dracula.
I like this movie a lot, actually. I haven't seen it in a little
too.
bit, but I dig this movie a lot.
So the thing that I came away with was an appreciation for Keanu Reeves, because that's always been the thing that like bugged me the most when I first saw it. And I took myself out of the accent and just watched him other than the accent. And other than the accent, he actually does a very good job.
Wow. I got to revisit this now.
But the accent is just so, whoa, Mina.
Yeah. Look at your neck. Whoa.
So
that's hilarious.
I believe that might be my 17th vampire movie of the year so far.
Yeah, you have been on a
I believe it.
bloody kick.
Holy shit.
I believe it. It's
All
good
right.
one to revisit, though.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
All right, remember a couple of weeks ago I reviewed a shark movie where people were in a plane that went into the ocean. Was it No Way Up or whatever?
I
yeah.
can't remember.
So the book I'm recommending is not horror. It's a thriller, but it's related to that. It's called Drowning by T.J. Newman. She was a former flight attendant who wrote up a book, Falling, which is fabulous. This is if you're looking for like the best popcorn thriller book you're going to read all summer, this is it. I devoured this book in like a day.
How do you eat popcorn while you're reading a book?
It's easy. That's why there's a lot of stains, butter stains in my book. Butter stains. This centers around a plane that not long after takeoff in Hawaii crashes into the ocean, breaks in half, almost, and it's sitting on the shelf, and it could slip off and go into like, some trench.
Same movie.
By the way, they are making a movie out of this. When they saw that shark movie, they must have wanted to murder everybody that was
like
involved in the
Hellhole
shark
all
movie.
over again.
So the funny thing was, I bought a couple of books and I said to my wife, which one do you want to read first? She saw this. She goes, oh, that sounds like that dumb shark movie. No. Now I'm worried that people won't see this movie. If it's anything like the book, it's going to be amazing. T.J.
I think
Newman.
5 people know about that shark movie, and they all are in our chat room.
Probably. But yeah, if you want like a great, well-written, superbly written thriller, check out Drowning. Also check out Falling if you want by T.J. Newman. These are great. Just bring it to the beach, hanging out at the cabin, whatever you're doing. Can't recommend this book enough. So it's no.
You take a book called
Malfi.
Drowning to the beach. That seems a little dark.
We were drowning in rain in Maine, so I had a lot of time on the porch. Jason, are you gonna vomit, sneeze, like
Yes.
look like you were holding back a lot there. Okay, this is a record time for us getting done with curation.
I think it is.
This is all happening because of you, buddy. We're making the wheels roll on this. Let's get
Thank you.
to the main feature, Fire Crotch.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
We may get a clean 60 here if we go fast enough.
This is amazing.
I can see it happening.
We did
All
last
for you,
week.
Jason. All for you.
Thank you. I'm feeling
All
rough.
for you, Jason.
Yeah, that's what I thought of.
I feel like when this show ends, he's just gonna poop himself, sneeze a snot bubble out the size of like freaking watermelon, and his head's gonna hit
I
the
think
mic.
he already pooped himself, and after the show, he's just going to deal with it.
Yeah, I got to do the poop walk over to the
This
shower.
Explains the phases. Okay.
The shuffle.
All right,
God.
Jack. What's going on with this movie? This third movie about desert.
Okay.
stuff.
What the hell happens in this movie? So in the first movie, a guy goes to the high desert and he disappears. And there was a documentary about it. That's the movie of the first one. This guy in this movie, what was his name?
Oscar?
Oscar?
Oscar.
He
Odd couple for
it's
you
a deep
youngsters.
cut there.
Jesus Christ.
So Oscar goes to the high desert to find the spots where the first guy disappeared, and then he disappears. So now this is a documentary about his friends looking for him, and so we get documentary footage of the friends, and sort of as they're searching for him, and we're getting to see the footage he has, and we get to see a lot of this Oscar guy walking around with a camera in the high desert.
I think that does it. That covers all the bases. So we watched the first two. We all watched the. I don't know, Chad. Did you watch the first two?
I sure did. Big
Yeah.
fan.
So like these movies, I had high hopes for any high desert movie.
Mhm.
Jason, just so you can say it and be done, what do you think?
I am very conflicted on this movie. The first, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes was shockingly boring. Like, there were so many people talking about so many different characters that were being introduced and old characters. I was like, dude, like, I hadn't watched these movies since they came out. So at the beginning, I was like, oh, okay, this is good. I'm getting a little bit of a refresher on what happened. And then it just keeps going. It keeps going. I'm like, oh my God, can we show the guy's footage? Now, the last third, I don't know, whatever it was, when we start seeing the main guy's footage, I found it was much more interesting because like things were happening on screen. There was some good sound work. I love found footage movies, and the end of this is basically a found footage movie. So I like that a lot. As for the story and the lore, all right, man, it's time to stop fucking around. Let's start answering some questions here. Let's start connecting some stuff. The end of this, I was just like, oh, that looked really good. That's the end of the movie? What?
Yeah.
What? So, I don't know. This is almost like a series, like a TV series. But instead of getting an episode every week, we're getting an episode every 2 years or whatever the hell it is. So, I'm very torn on this. I thought the videography actually was really good. I don't know what camera he's using to shoot at night, but it looked phenomenal on my TV. So, I like the technical stuff about it, but man, I'm torn. That beginning was slow, and let's get the story going here. Like, let's start knitting this shit up. I don't want this to be like Lost with a god-awful ending, and I'm just running to Rampage.
That would be the worst.
So the next one better have more answers, or I might be done.
And better be out soon.
Yeah, we're 3 movies in, and I'm like, what is happening? Like,
I
can I have some clue?
Than before.
I'm more confused after this movie than I was after the first two. Like, so, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Shaddy
Okay, I think you guys might know that I think that I like these Horror in the High Desert movies better than anyone here. I think
I put one of them on
I,
my top 5 list, I think.
I speak okay. Well, I speak very highly of them. I
I
like the
like them,
second.
but you like them way more than I do, for sure.
Yeah, I think that. Anyway, I'm a big fan of this guy. You know, he writes and directs them. I believe I can't remember what his name is, and I don't know if he's done anything else. But for me, man, this was just. I ran out of ideas. Let's redo the first one with a different character, and then let's convolute it like the second one was very convoluted. We'll have a scary scene about this thing and a scary scene about this thing, about this person. That's what this was for me, and I found it pretty. It's my least favorite of the three, and I found it pretty boring. I think. But let me say this: the guy, I wish I could remember his name. I want to say David, but I could be way off. He is. People should pay attention to the way he builds. Other filmmakers, the way he builds tension, and the subtlety of things, as well as not showing too much. He shows just enough to creep you out with whatever it is. All you know is what you're looking at is unsettling. You can't quite make it out. Is that an old man? Is that an old woman? Is that what are they doing? It's perfect rather than having, too much light on something and it looks fake. He is freaking great at doing that. So when he shoots the found footage stuff, and in this one, there was only a couple scenes. A lot of it, like Jason said, more of it had to do with either sound or suggestion, like when they say, like when they have the person's voice disguised. I can't remember why they do that, but they said some really creepy things, but we don't get to see any of it. Look at them. Why are they walking like that? Or they're
Wasn't it like a train conductor or something they were interviewing with that?
Yeah,
guy?
maybe
Forget
to be
his
kept
voice.
anonymous. Yeah. And, I'm not sure where this is going. I don't know if the writer even knows. We start out with an old man, and then there's maybe more than one old man, and then there's several people, and it's like, but they don't really walk like people, and they don't always look like people now. And so I don't know. The mysteriousness of that doesn't bother me because I like the atmosphere, but this one just wasn't. Watch 1 and 2, and you'll be fine. I just don't. I don't personally recommend 3.
Ooh,
wow, that's like a dagger from Chad.
You'd think that Joe Lansdale wrote this movie.
This is the Evil Dead 2 of this series, apparently.
When we're ever going to stop pulling that old saw out, I don't know.
I'm just ignoring you.
Someone is going to send Joe a super cut of us saying that to Chad.
Toten is on it right now.
Oh god!
No, don't do that.
Did you guys see in the chat? Toten is telling people where Jason lives.
Yeah, baby, come to the house. That'd be great. Don't do that.
Don't encourage that.
I'll cough on you.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Jason, you said it. Actually, both of you did. Technically, I like the first 2 movies fine. This one, technically, I like the mockumentary parts. I think they do that. I think for found footage movies, more of them should do this because it helps break up the monotony of it.
Yeah.
And even like building suspense and atmosphere with the way that they kind of do the POV stuff. Good. But this movie just it gets kind of boring. You keep waiting for something to happen. And then, we can talk about it more in spoilers, but just when you think you're getting to the climax, it's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
And then just when you think, all right, here we go, it's over. So
yeah.
For me, like if the next one, if this is just a setup and the next one is pandemonium, great. But I wish they hadn't taken so long for the buildup because you didn't need it. You're right. There was a lot of stuff at the beginning that. Did we need all that?
And this is the longest of the 3. The others are
the best
70 some minutes.
So Yeah, I was pausing a few times to see how much longer was left and things.
Never a good
So
sign.
I was like, I really can't recommend the first two enough. This one, it's like watch it, so you're up to date, because I think we'll all want to see how the fourth one is, because there's a lot of talent and potential. And if this is just like Jason, you said it perfectly. If you watch a TV series, the first couple of episodes are great, and then there's a kind of a lull sometimes, and then they end. So it's like, if this is the lull part,
Yeah.
I hope.
But it just feels. I'll say that it just doesn't feel like there's like this movie is going to do anything. Do some connective tissue, and kind of give us, if not an answer, we can start guessing at an answer. It didn't do that. I was really excited for this movie because I loved the first two, but I agree. The story is just not there. Nothing really happens in this movie, and what does happen, you barely can see or understand.
It's like literally 4 frames.
Right. I'm like, one point, we're like, when he's in that house or whatever, and he's walking around, and finally something pops. I was like, was that a tree? Is he afraid of a tree? I couldn't tell.
Hold on. Wait do we get spoilers?
Whatever. So anyway, I thought the story was slow. It didn't give me. I was hoping for what's the next step here. The creepy stuff and building tension, spot on. This is an ASMR movie. So for people who are like, stroking themselves to ASMR videos, or I can't sleep without ASMR, this is your movie. You like gravel crunching.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
No, seriously, it was like way over like the other two movies.
Is that really what you think? I think so.
I kind of liked it, but I didn't like it anywhere near the other two. It just feel like nothing much happened in it. So
yeah, it's not that I hate this movie. I don't. It's just the beginning is boring, and the payoff is almost non-existent. So at the end of the movie, you're like, I have nothing more than like when we left. Like I got the story moves a little bit. But
I got some questions when we get to spoilers too, because I need to know how part 2 and this connect a little bit. So
I will say one more nice thing about this too, that the acting in here is phenomenal, just like Mungo and just like the first two, Horror in the High Desert. If you don't know that you're watching, I think especially the first two, if you don't realize you're watching a mockumentary thing, you would be convinced that you're watching a real documentary about something that happened.
Here's the key: he gets people who he pulled out of a Walmart who just look like regular people talking.
For sure,
it's kind of the key.
And I think it's a lot of it's improv. I think they have a direction and they're given cues.
It's just like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I think that the best acting comes from like that. And I think that's how they did it. A ton of footage probably shot, like that woman in the bed, and they probably have a half hour of her talking.
Oh my Lord, can't wait to go through that. All right, Jack, you ready for the spoiler bell?
Spoiler alert!
When you all hear that bell, that means we're going to talk stuff that maybe you don't want to hear if you didn't see this movie. For those of you who have not watched us on this channel before, which is all of you.
Damn it.
All right, so I got some questions.
All right.
In the second movie, there was 2 halves. The first half, I think, was Minerva. She's in a house. There's something in the basement. And then what happens at the end of that segment?
The woman in the car.
That was the next segment where the woman was in the car, and then she goes into the buildings where
I think the EMT guy showed up maybe, and the lights went out on him, but he was using his thing. He couldn't see anything. But
that was in the second half.
That's which was awesome.
In the first half, like the woman goes down in the basement, and there's like something in the basement. But is that the one where there was like people in the outside or something?
Yes,
might be.
And she disappeared, right? I don't think she was found.
She disappeared. And then they never found her.
They covered they covered up the basement, and moved the trailer.
But didn't we see people outside her house or something?
That sounds.
I can't remember.
It's been a while.
And then the second one is the woman breaks down. There's something around her car. She runs, goes into the empty buildings, and there's like you can see something in the.
You see things. By the
You
way,
see things kind of like Wreck, where you see like the,
Yeah.
the-
and now we see less.
okay,
Yes,
so
We did.
now in this one, he goes back to that place where the second woman was. Is that the same place where she was? I think it was.
Or where the EMT guy went.
I don't think he went there, did he?
It looks
Who's the
familiar.
EMT guy?
There's the EMS guy or whatever who was.
The guy who saw the figure. They analyzed the footage in this. I don't think anybody in this movie.
Oh,
went
that's
there.
right. The EMTs were looking for the woman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
and then they
gotcha.
showed new footage, or not new footage, just
Okay, that's
slowed
it. The
down
woman
footage.
didn't run up there. They were looking for her, and they went up there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now this one, he goes to whatever. Let's say it's the same place. He takes freaking forever. He hears a noise, goes into the tunnel, comes back out of the tunnel.
Crunching gravel.
You think you're in like a video game.
Yeah.
just
Although
like-
he kept that camera awful steady when he was walking around.
And then something's on the roof. And then Treebeard comes in. And that's the movie. Am I
That's it.
right? It was all it was.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, were there trees like moving? Like, maybe this is.
I could.
I'll have to go back and watch because he does say there's one in that tree,
Yeah.
but I couldn't see anything. It just looked like tree branches. But maybe
Yeah.
now knowing it's a tree, maybe you can actually see it. I don't know.
You're gonna have to super freeze frame that sucker.
Yeah,
to find
I have a
anything.
feeling there's just nothing there, but I could be totally wrong.
So is it? Are we thinking that these are just shapeshifters?
I think it's the last line of the movie says they don't always look like people. So
Yeah.
that's my assumption.
Is this a
Yeah.
Skinwalker movie? There's a possibility.
We're 3 movies in, and I have absolutely no clue.
Skinwalker,
There, done.
drink.
I don't know.
I even didn't. Remember they had and I like the scene where they were talking about with the biker, and he had like his GoPro footage when he was just going out
Oh,
for
yeah,
a
yeah.
ride in the desert.
Yeah, that
And
was
then
cool. That's
he
probably my
sees-
favorite part.
I like that part. And then when he's walking, he sees the cave entrance and he sees the person. He goes, "Oh, here you go." And they even put the circle on it. It just reminded me of like terrible like blob squatch video where it's like I couldn't even get a solid image of a person crawling into a cave in this movie. There was
Yeah. There's just nothing.
there was zero solid physical evidence of anything.
Well, I saw. I mean, when they showed the guy and it had that same like old man face that the end of the first movie had. It reminds me of the mask from that movie Curtains. Have you guys seen Curtains?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
a long
yeah.
time.
That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's like a beat up version of that mask in Curtains.
well, who knows what's coming next because we got zero clues in the third movie.
I thought the tree looked cool, but you got to give me more. Like, we waited the whole movie for that, and it's just a couple of frames. It's such a small amount of frames. I kept rewinding it and trying to pause it on my TV, and I could not time it because it's so short. It's like, dude, come on. I need a little bit more here.
This is like trying to stop Instagram so you can catch the girl when the clothes come off and she shows the beanie.
Yep.
It's exactly like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Trying to get a screen cat grab.
either give us more at the end, or you got to cut a lot of that shit at the beginning out, man. That beginning was freaking boring. So, I don't know.
I think it would be less boring if we got more at the end. I think we wouldn't even think about the beginning.
Yeah,
One of the
I think
others
so
fine.
too.
One of the
I
others
did-
fine.
I think I didn't mind the beginning because I like the other two movies. I know they start to pay off. The first one especially takes a really long time to get anywhere, almost like just about an hour almost. And but so I was just super stoked to be watching this finally. And but yeah, it doesn't pay off, so that made the beginning even more boring, I think, looking back.
Yeah, I'll go right in the middle of that and say, I was fine with it. I was okay. I'm settling in. I'm back in that world. And then once there wasn't really a payoff, then I was like, what are we doing here, people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did I listen to everyone talk about this for a freaking hour for nothing? Like, come
That's
on,
why.
man.
That's why I said this was like a remake. Part of this was a remake
Yeah.
of the first one because that's all we did. Again, is just the guy's name is not Gary. It's Oscar this time, and he's going out to this place that the same
The
reason
same
why
place.
you know. only we got more cooler footage from Gary that we did with Oscar, and then they throw some
Oscar
other
lived.
stuff.
Well, Oscar likes
Yeah.
trains, and we got trains, and we got a new town, Edna.
I
Something
feel like
just
I've
added
been
into the
trained
lore.
right now.
Well,
How
I'm
many
down for
trains
another
that
one.
Jason had pulled on him? But I am going to be down to watch part 4. I'm going to watch
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, of course, of course. But if
Just like-
if he shits the bed on that one, I'm probably done. Because, come on, man, you gotta give me something here.
Yeah.
I mean, I really appreciate the first 2 movies, but also, why is it called Firewatch? No one is on Firewatch.
I'm glad you
Well,
mentioned that. There was a
they-
fire which
Yeah.
allowed him to trespass.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
that's
beginning.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, they took a moment to. I was like, okay, now we're getting into why they're talking. Why they named it Firewatch, and I thought this was going to be a big part of the movie because they're talking about the fires. They're showing all the footage.
Yeah. No.
Then we're done with it.
Yep. Why?
Maybe
Like,
in
what
part-
the hell?
Maybe in part 4, Oscar will be ready to talk because he mentioned he was not ready to talk this time.
I saw they leaked the title of the part 4 is Baywatch.
Hell yeah! Who can we get?
Maybe
Who do we
part
want
4
from Baywatch?
What was the name of that town? Edna? Something like that?
Edna.
Maybe it takes place there. So this movie was about getting us there. Maybe that's what it'll be.
The part
train
4 is
from
named
Minerva to
is Etna is the name of the part 4, and it's all about the insurance for all these people going missing.
Yeah, you're all getting hurt.
They're all denied claims. There's no body.
Yeah, I'm down with what Hatchet Mouth says. Stop tiptoeing around. Either get in the deep end or get out of the pool.
Yeah,
I'd like to see. I mean, we've had 3 hours or 4 hours of just creeping around. Let's start seeing some really cool stuff and lessen the interviews, lessen they went out here because of this and they used to have a drinking problem and they used to be so cool and now we don't care at this point. We don't care.
Yeah. We want answers. We want to see some shit.
Yeah,
Like, I understand these are very small movies. I don't expect creatures running around like crazy, but
No.
show me something peeking around the corner every now and then.
I want
you know?
Ents attacking Isengard next to it.
That being said, I think this guy's a really good filmmaker, and
He is.
I think with the first 2, man. I mean, like I said, he has made some really unsettling scenes, and he's good at it.
If anybody involved with the making of this watch this, they should take this as constructive criticism and not hate.
From people who
We all like
what
it.
you do.
There's plenty to like about
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, here, taste this. What did you think? You could use a little more garlic, a little more hot sauce.
I would like
A
to see
little more
him pair
Colonel
up with
Sanders.
We can't give away the secret. I'd like to see him pair up with the guy who does Blackcoat's daughter. Not Blackcoat's daughter. What's the Blackwell Ghost?
Blackwell.
Oh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
I think
haven't
the
seen
2 of them would be pretty
I think
amazing.
Nigel Bach should get involved.
God
no.
damn it.
Just like, imagine that whole third act of this movie, but just, God damn it.
Dude walking around in his slides.
I just thought of one other thing I want to bring up before we get out of here. Did anyone else find it weird that they were talking about private property, like this guy sneaking on private property, like he was in Area 51? They kept saying he's on private property. I'm like, it's the fucking desert.
Private
Yeah,
train
it's like
property.
you got thousands of acres out here.
Right. Like, they kept saying, oh, he's on private property. I'm like, so? Like,
Yeah,
who cares?
well, if you get caught, you can never ride Amtrak again.
Right.
It's owned
That's
by
a
the
good
train
point.
company. So. All right. I think we're good. We made it an hour and 5. Jason's
not dead.
actually kind of sideways right now. So, and it was a pleasure being in your backyard, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to see so many new faces.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We actually are live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on the Final Guys channel. I'm just sick and dumb and live streamed it to my channel. So,
Yeah.
Go
Hello.
sub to Final Guys.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
we'll just move here. Maybe I'm just going to move my shit in here. I'm not leaving.
normally I'm a little livelier too because I don't feel like I'm dying. So, we'll see.
Not
soon.
much. Not much, but
Do we know what we're doing next week?
let's decide during the week.
Violent
right.
nature.
Possibly in a violent nature.
Yeah.
We'll
Right.
see.
Let's just
Whatever.
see.
All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining Final Guys on SBIG. And let's all say a prayer for the swift recovery of Jason Brandt so he could get back to watching
do.
nonsense.
And I'd like new glasses. That'd be great.
And so he can see.
Bye.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
See ya.